So at the time, I was partying so much and getting into a lot of trouble before the Oscars was coming up, and I got a call from somebody named Oprah Winfrey. Hi, Jamie Foxx, it's Oprah Winfrey. And I ended up having to go meet with her and says, Jamie, you got a real opportunity to win this, but you got to slow down. Because I didn't know it was a campaign.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she ended up taking me to a party, and at the party, it was at Quincy Jones's house. And Quincy comes up, hey man, you're doing a great job, man. That Ray Charles, man, you killed that son of a bitch, man. It's amazing, man.
Oh
man,
God.
Yeah, come on in, man. I see the records on the wall. And remember when Puff would throw the big parties, and we was in Miami.
The all-white party?
The all-white party, but it's New Year's. So I go there, I'm partying, I'm trying to keep over Puff. I rent a Bentley, nigga. I ain't had no money, so I had to, and the way I got the Bentley, he said, give me a credit card. I said, okay, here, take this one, don't run this until, run this on Tuesday, and then I'm gonna pay cash on this just to get the Bentley, because Puff was riding around in Bentleys. So now I'm in my white Bentley, and Miami following Puff and shit. Puff
He fucking off gas. You like, damn, nigga, hear me get somewhere.
They say I'm sleeping with everybody, and everybody yelling. I said, so I'm laying in bed with Oprah. I lean over to Gail and say, ain't this shit crazy? Yo, we getting together. Yo, Stedman, get us some juice. But Oprah was definitely
rubbing your shoulders on her show. She was loving you, bro.
We had a connection. If it was right, I didn't want to disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Stedman's such a nice person.
Can we have?
T.I. has just unveiled a story that's blowing everyone's minds. Apparently, Diddy and Oprah have connections to Jamie Foxx that might explain everything about his mysterious hospitalization. And while it may sound far-fetched at first, things get disturbingly real when you start connecting the dots. This wild theory comes after Jaguar Wright started exposing Jamie as someone completely different from the charming Hollywood persona we all know.
Jamie Foxx.
What about Jamie?
You've been in rooms.
I know Jamie.
What's your?
Me and Jamie shared a manager, Breon.
Shout out Breon.
Yeah, somebody please put him on a milk cart. No one's seen him since Jamie went into the hospital. I hope Breon's okay. Hope he didn't have a stroke.
Does the Claudia Jordan thing stem from that? Foxhole?
No, not really. That's more about the transgender assistants that were constantly engaged to come and party with Jamie because everyone knows he likes transgender women. He went after my Gigi. Want to know when we met all up together, when they met my Gigi?
Go ahead.
At a party at Park. It was the second inauguration for the Obamas, and I was there as a guest at the party, like I was at the first inauguration. And I brought Gigi with me, and Jamie had his eye on her. And Breon asked me if it was cool. And I said, everybody here is grown. Gigi was quite catnip. I mean, if you look at her, she's amazing. But I never let her fake it. I never let her pretend to be a woman. But I always insisted that she behaved like one. The transgender girls that I took care of and I looked after who were in the business or worked with the business or clientele in the business, I always demanded that they think highly of themselves. They had keys to my house, so on the nights where they couldn't go home and they didn't trick enough money, they didn't have to keep tricking, Come to the house. Food will be on the stove. Don't die tonight. Because a lot of them end up in dumpsters. So yeah, Jamie done a lot. The naked basketball games that he hosted. I mean, everybody knew. And there's no point in me hiding it now because his fate has been sealed, whatever it may be. But everybody knew if you went to a party at Jamie's house that at midnight, the witching hour began. And basically he would have a party and everybody would be in there. But at 12 o'clock, the women would start to take off their clothes and you would have to guess if you were with a cisgender woman or a transgender woman. So some of these dudes, they already been making out with these chicks, they already been doing all kinds of stuff. And then the clothes come off and you figure out whether or not you got a chick or a chick with a That was a standard. Or the night that another male R&B artists that I know, and I've already spoke about this. I'm not gonna put you out there, but you know exactly who you are. You know you was there underneath that piano sucking Jamie's while he was playing Mozart. And he taped it and I saw it. Now I've already spoke about this on another channel, and I'm not gonna say your name this time because you didn't sue me. So we already know what it is. But what I will say is this. Tonka trucks are Tonka trucks, not tanks. You got played with, and that's just what it is.
Jamie Foxx states in the special that Diddy was responsible for what happened to him, and he is the one that called the FBI on him.
It kind of makes me think about a couple things too. So we just talked about Jay-Z and Puff. There was also this allegation floating around that Diddy had set up Jamie Foxx, or that Diddy was the reason why Jamie Foxx got in the hospital. Did you hear that rumor? And what's the details that you understood what took place? Because all of us thought it was COVID related, and I think Jamie even saw a video of him talking about he had took something and then
Right.
some time later he fell out. But what's going on with that?
Well, there was a rumor, or I can't say it was a truth because I wasn't there, but there's been a rumor that the whole time when Jamie was out, for the industry insiders, Diddy had did that to him.
Okay.
He caught Jamie filming, allegedly, or whatever. They told Jamie to chill. He didn't chill, and allegedly Diddy and his security beat Jamie ass, and that's why Jamie was in the hospital, allegedly, right? But then there's the thing where they saying that they gave him some type of pill or something that knocked him out. But it all was alleged connected back to Diddy.
Jamie Foxx's recent hospitalizations raised eyebrows across the board, sparking whispers that something much darker could be at play. When Choke No Joke stirred the pot, suggesting that Jamie's hospital stays might have been connected to a deeper fear. Could it be that Jamie was actually afraid of Diddy? The situation took an even stranger turn when Jamie stepped forward, dismissing the idea of any link between his health issues and Diddy. Jamie Foxx now says he was only joking when he hinted that Diddy was behind his mysterious hospitalization last year. Initially, rumors suggested Foxx had accused Diddy of poisoning him and that he had even contacted the FBI over the incident. When asked directly about these claims, Foxx avoided a clear answer, simply responding, "God bless you." And just as Diddy lands himself behind bars, Jamie Foxx makes a miraculous recovery, suddenly reappearing all over the place, almost as if nothing happened. The timing is suspicious indeed.
Now, more recently, Jamie has a special coming out on Netflix called What Had Really Happened Was, and I went to the taping of it. It was 3 days taping. I went to the first show, I went to the last show.
Okay.
Jamie Foxx states in this, spoiler alert, but Jamie Foxx states in the special that Diddy was responsible for what happened to him, and he is the one that called the FBI on him.
So it's got to be a joke, though, right?
I don't think he was joking. When then y'all can determine was he joking or not when you see the show. Because to me, I'm a new comedian, right? I've learned and learned from game. I know when somebody's setting up a punchline, and I know when you're serious. And when he said it, I called, and I'm the one that called the F. He said, Diddy, yeah, is the one that did something to me or whatever. And I'm not going to give out, I don't want to give away his jokes or nothing, but after he said Diddy did something to me, he said, and I'm the one that called the feds on him. So everybody out here that's talking about Diageo, this, that, and the other, better go back and think about when that happened to Jamie and start looking at the chain of events.
That's deep. That's really deep. So, because I would say the timeline does reflect Jamie went down. That was last year. And then are we saying that something in response, Jamie responded and alerted whatever activity Puff had going on to shut him down as like his get back?
I wouldn't say his get back, but for his protection, Jamie was scared, right? He disappeared, right? He out now as soon as Puff went to jail, right? We see him at the game with Jerry Jones, right? Before, nobody seen Jamie. We just had these mysterious sightings of him on the boat, and then they had the fake Jamie out here, right? Then we haven't seen him. As soon as Puff went to jail, he was at the goddamn Dallas basketball game.
What do you think was like the most wild thing you seen out there bodyguarding with him?
With bro, all type of frugal ass, what do you call that shit? Zest monsters? All type of frugal ass activity. Cam, I done seen a lot of shit, man. I ain't gonna lie, a bunch of dangerous ass too. Oh, bro, I don't really want to speak too much because I done been a part of some of this danger. But yeah, I done seen some very wild man. Like I know he told you about the shit with we was at the Jamie Foxx party. Bodyguarding for Jamie Foxx. I go to the bathroom. You in there playing with each other. Like 5 in there playing with each other. Nah, I'm new to this at the time. I'm new to this at the time though, Cam. You feel me? Like I'm from the streets. You hear me? I open them up. Bathroom, I got a piss. I see this shit out of my blick, boy. What the going on? I couldn't believe that, bro. Damn, I ain't gonna lie, that pissed me off. I done was finna blow one of their ass down. Female get to screaming and shit, so I had to get on. Plus, I ain't want to front. Bro. Move. I ain't want to know his business, what he had going on, but that my head up. That shit had my dome gone.
Okay, I can see how that could piss somebody off, man.
Yeah, man, you just think about it, bro. You just imagine you going to the bathroom, you got a piss bad as hell. You open that bitch, all you see is bro, like, and you from the hood though, you feel me? Like, so you don't see this you don't see this type of shit. And then at the time, I'm a little young, so this is back before like I had the mentality that I got now. You know, now it's like, hey man, your preference is your preference. You know what I'm saying? But back then, we used to be whooping my ass that was on that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Young, dumb, we would just be whooping you. We would beat out your ass. So that shit blew me, bro. You hear me? That shit blew out of me, Cam. Every time you tell that story, I get mad.
Now, you don't have to say any names, but were any of these guys famous?
Yes. Hell yeah. Yes. That's why, like, bro, like, now that I know what I know and I've been around, bro, I look at this shit so much different, bro. This shit is so this shit is crazy, bro. This shit really crazy, bro. Like, if that shit get out, if to really speak on some shit, bro, like, man, that shit crazy, bro. That shit crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. You gotta know what they chasing when they trying to get into this shit, bro. This shit wicked.
This is Tyron Turner. You might remember him from Menace to Society alongside Lorenz Tate playing Kane and O-Dog. But Tyron is also very good friends with Jamie Foxx. So Tyron sat down and did an interview, and he was asked by the interviewer a few questions about Jamie Foxx. And it was kind of crazy. I definitely think they caught him off guard. And some people are questioning how he answered these questions.
Speaking of Jamie, right, would it be safe to say that y'all are close friends?
Yeah, it's like my brothers. Like my brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'd do anything for him. He'd do anything for me. Like, brothers. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta ask you though, right? Jaguar Wright, she been doing interviews and she made a few comments about Jamie, and I want to get your opinion on it. She did an interview where she made a comment saying that Jamie Foxx is gay and he likes trans women.
When you say like, no, hold on. So, I don't know who...
Just when you think this tale couldn't get any more tangled, in walks Oprah. Allegedly, she played a key role in helping Jamie land his Oscar. But ask yourself, why would Oprah go out of her way to do that? Did Jamie offer something in return? Is there a side to Oprah we don't see? One where connections and favors come with hefty prices?
I get a call. Jamie Foxx! It was Oprah. Jamie! You know, when she mad, she sings. Jamie Foxx! What are you doing, Jamie Foxx? I said, who's it? It's Oprah. She said, you're blowing it.
She said that to you?
Yeah. Because we were just out hanging and we weren't taking the moment serious. She says, I want to take you somewhere so you can understand the significance of what you're doing.
And where did she take you?
She took me to Quincy Jones's house.
Wait, what?
She takes me to Quincy's house and Quincy goes, hey man, how you doing, man? You're doing a great job on Ray, but you're everything else up, man. Man, you gotta buckle down, baby.
Quincy said that to you?
And we walked in and said, you see, that's 54 million records, man, Thriller, man. You know, you can do it, man, but we're counting on you, baby. So then Oprah says, now, are you ready to meet the person that I brought you here to talk with? And it was Sidney Poitier. Oh. He says, I saw you one time. You were at a party. Do you remember that? I was like, yes, tears. He said, I'm sleeping with everybody, and everybody yelling. I said, so I'm laying in bed with Oprah. I lean over to Gail and say, ain't this shit crazy? Yo, we getting together. Yo, Stedman, get us some juice. But Oprah was definitely
rubbing your shoulders on her show. She was loving you, bro.
We had a connection. If it was right, I didn't want to disrespect Stedman.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, Stedman's such a nice person. And then Oprah says, okay, Jamie, you want to meet the person that's here to actually like knight you? He's right over there. And it was Sidney Poitier.
Wow.
And so they walked me over to Sidney Poitier and he says, I saw you one time. You were at a party. Do you remember that? And I was like, man, yes. And I said, what should I do? He says, I give you one thing. I give you responsibility. And I said, what does that mean? He says, you're responsible for your art. You're responsible for your movies and all that. Just do the right thing. So when we won that, it was a completely different, feeling. Like everybody, like, you know, I didn't even go to the Vanity Fair party.
Yeah.
Like I went to, like my boy threw a party, so all of the homies and everybody that could get, so we went there. When I walked in, it was, you know, niggas smoking weed, we partying, whatever. They took the trophy out of my hand, people was taking pictures with it. But that was like the biggest, like, moment. Grammy is more gratifying on the music tip because I've always wanted to do music. So when you talk about a Grammy, that to me, that's personally like all I've ever wanted to do. But you know, both of them have their ups.
Monique won her Oscar, and since it's
hey baby, let me tell you something, okay? Okay, sisters, hey sisters.
Both you comedians come
from,
you know, and she's had, you know, she's had turbulence.
Yeah, because I'm not going to do it. I'm going to tell you right now, that, okay? They're not going to make me do this Hollywood dance. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to do it. Winning the Oscar is a trip.
Yeah.
Because when you win an Oscar, it throws you too far up. I don't keep the Oscar in my house.
Yeah.
I let somebody else hold it. Because sometimes when people win Oscars, they start speaking like English accents and shit. How you feel? Well, you know, after the Oscar, I was more. So I don't want to have that. What Monique went through was something that you can't explain. It's like, it's so big, and that moment is so big, and there's no one there to tell you, like, it's tomorrow. And so whatever move you make, because if you think about Hollywood, everybody and their mama goes to try to win the Oscar. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But when I said one day, I was a singer, I really wasn't into this Oscar thing, my publicist says, you can't do that. Because there's people like Martin Scorsese that have never won.
Wow. Yeah.
So Monique, and just like me, maybe not recognizing what it really is.
Yeah.
And so when you say the turbulence afterwards, it's no difference than anybody who's ever won Best Supporting Actor. And you can check the history. It's always a dark time after that, because where do you get that performance monetarily? I mean, it's like, you know, that's a performance that's critically acclaimed, but it's not really a monetary thing. So it's not really the type of movie that everybody's gonna see in the masses. And then there is a dance that you have to do, you know, and I had to do it. And there was a couple of times where I blew up like, yo, you know, but I had people around me say, yo, you got it. It's another day coming. So Monique is talented. That's the one thing, though. Yeah. Monique is a very talented person, very talented actress. She killed that role. She's a very talented comedian. So one thing about real talented people, they will always work.
Yeah.
It's just that
now we live in a society where everything is blown up so large. You just gotta sort of know how to like make my step or not say anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know like, you know what her deal is, but I just know that anything that she does, I'm gonna go see, I'm gonna go support it no matter what.
In case you forgot, Oprah's drama with Monique was another shocking story of betrayal and manipulation. Monique publicly called out Oprah for her two-faced behavior, especially after Oprah allegedly betrayed Monique's trust by bringing her family on her show without her consent.
Winfrey, people are beginning to see you for who you are.
Oprah is known for changing people's lives for the better.
But why is she accused of ruining actor Monique's life?
How do you as a black woman watch another black woman be thrown under the bus based off of a lie?
She trusted Oprah with her secrets.
I shared my relationship with her about my mother.
But then
I began to see commercials with my mother, with my brother.
Monique's older brother, Gerald, comes clean.
I did inappropriately touch my sister.
He abused you from the time you were 7.
Oprah Winfrey, what you did was malicious, and it was intentional, and it was ugly.
But after Monique finally stood up for herself, she was attacked.
Started getting labeled as difficult.
For 8 years, my family has suffered, and my career has suffered.
Monique is in the media right now. Why don't you address it?
Oh my gosh, it's impossible. You can't meet negative energy where it is.
Oprah has disrespected victims many times in her career.
Is Monique gonna be the one to finally?
Everyone thinks Oprah is one of the most loving people on earth, but is she really? Actress Monique accused her of going behind her back and betraying her. They were good friends until Oprah invited Monique's abusive family onto her talk show without Monique knowing. Sick of being taken advantage of, Monique decided to speak out, but it only made things worse.
For 8 years, my family has suffered and my career has suffered. What really happened when Monique finally confronted Oprah? Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do and stop hiding. People are beginning to see you for who you are. A lot of people said, how could you say that? Oprah is a human being. She bleeds, she breathes, and one day she'll expire. And if you feel like there's something you need to say to anyone, I feel like you should say it.
When it comes to Oprah and Monique's falling out, it's actually more complicated than it seems. We discovered that it's deeply personal. So both Oprah and Monique grew up in very abusive households. Monique had always looked up to Oprah ever since she was young.
I'm a little black fat girl from Baltimore, Maryland. And I saw this fat black woman on a TV show. We took a field trip to that studio. And I hugged that woman. And I said, when I grow up, Miss Winfrey, I want to do what you do. And she said, you know, you gotta work really hard.
And she did just that. She worked extremely hard and achieved her dreams of becoming a stand-up comedian. And every time her path crossed with Oprah, they grew closer and closer.
That woman hugged me and said, when I look at you, I ain't doing nothing but looking at me. And I shared my relationship with her about my mother, as she shared hers with me.
And so by the time she got her big break doing the movie Precious, it was a great opportunity for her to work with Lee Daniels, which was an old friend, and Oprah as well. Everybody was so used to seeing Monique as a comedian that nobody was expecting her to do such a great job.
The first thing I said to her was, who's your favorite designer? Because you need to get your dress ready to walk down that red carpet to the Oscars, girl.
Everyone was talking about Monique's performance. Now producers are wanting to fly her around the world. They want her to promote the movie. But at this point, her priorities had already shifted.
There was a request from the movie studio that I fly to France for the Cannes Film Festival. I simply said I respectfully declined. And I said to them, my deal is with Lee Daniels, and I've done my job. I did all of my contractual obligations, and I was done.
Why wouldn't she want to go to Cannes?
At this point, she'd already had 2 failed marriages. By the 3rd marriage, she was desperate to spend time with her family.
When they called, I had a couple days just downtime. I wanted to spend that with my husband and my kids. I said, guys, I'm spending time with my family. I'm gonna pass. And they all agreed.
Monique thought she had the support of everybody, Oprah, the producers, but it was far from the truth.
We were on the campaign and she was making unreasonable demands. You gotta play ball. This is not just show. It's show business.
And the backlash only got worse.
I got labeled as difficult because I said one word, and that was no. Now I said no to some very powerful people. What Tyler Perry showed me, Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Lionsgate. When you don't do what we ask you to do, we'll take your livelihood.
But this isn't the only difficulty that Monique is facing at the time. So while she's getting backlash because she wasn't playing the game, Monique had been betrayed by somebody that she never saw coming. This is where things shift from professional to deeply personal.
What happened?
Oprah Winfrey called us up And she said my brother wanted to come on the show.
Your older brother you described as a monster. And he abused you.
Yes.
From the time you were
7.
How did he abuse you? Are we talking about abuse?
Yes. She said, if you don't want me to have your brother on the show, I will cancel the show. But I wanted to call you up to see how you felt first.
Monique thought Oprah had her back, but that was not the case.
I began to see commercials with my brother, my mother, my father, and my other brother. Now, the reason why that means so much is because in the conversation we had about my brother, we then went deeper and we began to talk about our relationships with our mothers and our fathers. She never said my mother was coming on that show, because had Oprah Winfrey said, I'm gonna have your mother, I would have said, shut it down.
Not only are you betrayed by somebody that you thought was your friend, but somebody that has lived the same experience as you and should know how deep that would hurt.
It probably was a really bad mistake on Oprah's part, but according to Monique, Oprah didn't apologize for it. So one night at a party, Monique had a chance to confront her.
It's refreshing to see Monique standing her ground and speaking up against Oprah, pulling back the curtain on Hollywood's so-called queen and exposing who Oprah really is.
Alfred Woodard had a Oscar party for the previous black woman that won Oscars and for the black woman that was nominated, and it was Lupita's turn that year. And she had him all the other years, and I had declined. Just my schedule wouldn't let me do it, or for whatever reason. I was like, no, thank you. But this year I said, okay. And Oprah Winfrey was gonna be there. Now, keep in mind, I was trying to reach out to have this private conversation. No return calls, whatever number she did give, no longer work, just, however it went, I could not get to Oprah Winfrey. So I see her this night, and Alfred Woodard says to me, we want you to understand, Monique, when we go into the red room, you can say whatever's on your heart. Almost like there was a universal energy where this sister knew something needed to be said. I can't say it factually, but she said it to me a few times. Whatever you need to say, this is the place to say it. Whatever you need to say, this is the place to say it. So they were going around the room getting people's feelings on how they felt about when they got this Oscar. And it got to be my turn. And I really wasn't impressed with the Oscar. So I really didn't have anything to say to Lupita other than, baby, play it your way. This is your turn. So do it the way you want to do it. So you don't look back and say, I wish I would have. No one else can tell you how to do it, but you can do it your way, because it's your name that will be called. You're the nominee. And then I looked to Oprah Winfrey and I said, you and I need to have this conversation. Why would you have my mother on your show?
This is from?
In front of everyone. So for all the women that were there, the one thing, people can say I'm loud, they can say I'm tactless, they can say I'm overbearing, as Oprah Winfrey has considered me, but what they've never said is she's a liar. Ain't nobody ever said Monique is lying. So for all them women that was there that night, they know exactly what was said. And I said to her, how could you have my mother on your show? That's not what we discussed. And you don't understand what I've had to walk through since you've had my mother on your show. See, I got to deal with women coming up to me in the Walmart saying, Monique, your mama ain't. I got to deal with that. Now I got to defend. They ain't lying, but I still got to defend it because that's my mother. Okay, Daddy, but that's the truth. But I still got to defend it. You don't understand what position you put me in doing that. So now this is my moment to talk to you. And what she did was took the cowardly way out. I won't call her a coward. I'll say it was cowardly, but it was okay. And she said, if you think I did something wrong, I want to apologize. And what my husband taught me a long time ago, an apology is not something that you think you need to give. If somebody else think you need to give it, it's what you feel. So she came off like Mother Earth that she is. If you think I did something wrong, no, Oprah, it ain't what I think. You did do something wrong. You maliciously, and you had full intentions of having my parents on your show and not saying anything to me. Was that for ratings?
It seemed like she exploited the situation.
Well, you just exploiting me. There are some sisters in this business that are bout it. Regina King was there that night. Angela Bassett was there that night. Lynn Whitfield was there that night. Kerry Washington was there that night. There's some sisters that are truly bout it because they sat back in those chairs. And they were looking like, what we know Monique ain't doing is lying. That's what we know she ain't doing. So when it comes to Oprah Winfrey, let me be clear so people, I'm a little black fat girl from Baltimore, Maryland. And I saw this fat black woman on a TV show called People Are Talking. That was a local show. And she had big shoulders and a big bush and big feet like me. And I said, wow, when I grow up, that's what I want to do. And then we took a field trip to that studio. And I hugged that woman. And I said, when I grow up, Miss Winfrey, I want to do what you do. And she said, you know, you got to work really hard. So the day I walked out on that stage to the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I was promoting Roscoe Jenkins. And after that show, that woman hugged me and said, when I look at you, I ain't doing nothing but looking at me. And then when I remind her that that's what she said to me, she says, oh, I say that to everybody. Well, then what does that make you? Everybody reminds you of you? Or do you just say things in the moment? So when I say to our community, I know Oprah Winfrey when the curtains are closed. I know it when the cameras aren't running. That's why Oprah Winfrey does not want to sit down publicly with me nor my husband to have a conversation, because within minutes, the community would know who Oprah Winfrey really was, because what she's not used to is anybody asking her any questions. I'm the deliverer. I'm the author. I'm the authority of all life and all beings, and I know it all. And someone would ask, well, how?
So what do you think? What else is waiting to be revealed about Hollywood's darkest secrets? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out on any new videos. And until then, fam, keep it real.